And now, a Hallmark Channel feature presentation.
Well, welcome on back, folks, to this year's Christmas marathon of the Hallmark Countdown to Christmas Movies. So, you may wonder what's in my hands right here. Well, it is related 100% to what we're doing here. So, there's one decoration I haven't put out yet, and of course, today is December the 13th, and this decoration you start on 12 days out from Christmas. So it is from Hallmark Ornaments. It is this countdown advent calendar, counting down 12 days till Christmas. So, and there's 12 different little ornaments that go on to it. These are, when I first got this a couple years ago, I think about 3 years ago is when I got this. I thought it was going to be ornaments that you could hang on your regular Christmas tree. Well, it's not. It's actually, I can't hold it up, but there's a punch out thing here, and with the little paper tree, and there are 12 little ornaments. Here, I'll just see if I can't pull one out, that are about like that, and maybe you could possibly hang them onto a branch on your Christmas tree, but they're kind of tiny. But but until then, it goes on this little paper tree that you punch out, and day by day you just hang one little ornament onto one of the little things on the star here. So while that goes on, we will I'll set this up. It ain't gonna take a couple minutes, but set up and hang one ornament on, and of course on Christmas Day is the when you hang the last ornament up. So in the meantime, we're going to check out tonight's feature. Tonight is from the Dayspring collection. Of course, Dayspring is the more faith-based card company that Hallmark owns and operates, that is sold in Hobby Lobby and Christian bookstores and various other places, as well as regular greeting card sections of maybe your drugstore or so on and so forth. So tonight we are going to take a look at a film from 2023. It is Miracle in Bethlehem, PA. Yeah, from 2023. This one stars Laura Vandervoot, Benjamin Aries, and Amy Groening. So, without further ado, here is Miracle in Bethlehem, PA. Okay, so that was Miracle in Bethlehem, PA. This one was kind of a nice one, but it had a similar story to the previous Dayspring movie that we've already watched beginning of this year. Well, not beginning of this marathon. A similar story, but so we have Mary Ann, who's a single woman who discovers that her ex-husband is engaged to a girl who is half his age, and so she's wanting to be very independent and of course be a single mom. Well, but she didn't have any children. She didn't have a man in her life. So she is adopting she ends up adopting a baby girl that from Pennsylvania. Well, there's a massive storm that blows through Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, thus stranding Marianne and the new baby, Natalie, at Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And there she meets this loner guy who had been married once before, and but had gotten divorced himself. And so she ends up, just like the story of Mary and Joseph in the Bible, where there was no room at the inn. So Joe ends up finding a place for them to stay. And as time goes on, feelings develop. Joe develops feelings for both Marianne and Natalie, the baby. And so things start to grow, and it also reveals that his dad had this barn that he always decorated for Christmas, and they only open it up at Christmas time. But there was a weird tax law that's keeping them from keeping it open, and they were gonna have to sell it. So, but Marianne is a lawyer, and that's one of the things that she specializes in making sure that, you know, she does all those sort of things, as she's an attorney. But then soon she realizes that, you know, I can't raise a baby on my own. And of course there's tie-ins with her mother, and yeah, it's a decent one. It's like I said, it's a similar story to the one we watched earlier this month, but the big difference is that this character is an attorney, and wanting to be a single mom, you know, strong, independent woman, single mom, but soon realizes, hey, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. And so she falls for Joe, and it just dawned on me that it's Mary and Joe. Joseph and Mary from the nativity story, you know. but the big thing is that with the baby, it's a baby girl, not a baby boy. It's a baby girl that they named Natalie, which supposedly, I don't know where this is based on. What this is the name Natalie means Christmas. What I don't know how. Forgive me for not knowing that, but I don't get where the word Christmas comes from, Natalie, but it is for the sake of the film. So that was Miracle in Bethlehem, PA. So yeah, it's a decent one. Do check it out. If you can find it, is on Hallmark Plus. It's available on DVD. You may want to This one was, I think, from last year's collection, so you may want to poke around on Amazon for the DVD for a DVD version if you would like that, or it is on, again, on Hallmark Plus. Now, I'm going to show you this little ornament, so let's turn our attention to this little tree, if we will. Okay, so here's the thing put together, and we started with our first Christmas ornament there, and it'll go all the way around these up to the top until we put the last piece on. As you can see, it just hangs there until counting down till the days of Christmas. Okay, so here we are. It's the next day. We're going to try to get 2 in to close out this video. Of course, I'm always doing my laundry in the background, so that's the dryer that you hear running. So first of all, we're going to take a look at a film from 2022, I believe. Actually, both these are going to be from 2022 because they're in a 3-pack here, so I just figured, take one from these. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Lights, Camera, Christmas. Again, from 2022. This one stars Kimberly Sustad, John Brotherton. So, yeah, so let's gather around and watch Lights, Camera, Christmas. Okay, so that was Lights, Camera, Christmas from 2022. That was directed by David Weaver, starring Kimberly Sustad and John Brotherton as Brad. Kimberly plays Carrie. This was a kind of a silly one, to be honest with you. It's about lampooning themselves a little bit, because what is going on is that there's a movie that has come to this small town, movie production company that has come, and this production company is known for making they're known for making these Christmas movies for made-for-TV Christmas movies. Matter of fact, they have a name for the streaming service that it's called, and they're making a movie within the movie, and so what happens is, as the production begins, people start canceling, backing out of the production at last moment's notice, and so they start to have to put together some people and rearrange some things, and so the producer of the film, he happens to see Carrie wandering around the neighborhood, and because their costumer has completely left the production to take a better paying job, and so they hire Carrie and they buy up all the clothes in her clothing store that she's operating, and because she's in dire need of money to do so, to keep the place running, and so but the thing of it is, the producer wants to return the clothes because he doesn't need them, but Kimberly is a clothing designer, so they figured that, maybe I could use my skills for this movie production to to fit everything together. So she's hired as the costume designer, and in the meantime she falls in love with Brad. Brad is the main star of the movie, and he's well known for making these Christmas movies. He's like they give him the title the King of Christmas, because he's been in so many of these made-for-TV movie Christmas movies that, you know, they give him as a joke that title. And so, and then you have Carrie's mother, who constantly walks onto the set, and she's like, Mom, what are you doing here? That sort of thing. And then you have the story between the producer and the director. At one time they were a married couple, and then they got divorced, and all of a sudden by the end of the film they end up rekindling the relationship. And so you have two romantic stories going on here. So yeah, but this one, Lights Camera Christmas, is definitely one of those movies where it's definitely Hallmark poking fun at themselves, and why not? I mean, they know they don't make the best product, and why not have a little bit of fun with themselves and create a story that centers around them making a movie. Because one of the jokes that I played in that early video a couple times ago was that they're all these categories, but they're all shot in Canada. Well, there's a reason for that. Matter of fact, if you look, most of the actors are Canadian actors as well, but there's a reason why Hallmark shoots these movies in Canada. They may set it in a small town in America, or they set it in these other places, but they're all filmed in Canada. Why? Because it is cheaper to make these films in Canada. They need to shoot these movies on the cheap. I mean, that's why they look the way they do, is that they shoot them pretty cheap, and they take advantage of like the tax credits and things like that. And of course Canada does have a pretty respectable film industry in that area. So, but it's cheaper for a lot of those shows to produce and make in Canada. So that's what Hallmark was poking fun of in this movie, is that they have to they choose a location in this town, and they take advantage of its they do take advantage of its locations, and at the same time they're trying to keep the budget low. they don't have the they don't have the 9-figure amount of money that a studio is willing to give to a production. So I don't know how I really don't know how much Hallmark spends on their movies, but I can tell you this: it's not expensive. That's why they're made for TV movies, and you don't see. And the stars that you see in those movies are either former TV stars or former movie stars. So yeah. So let's move on to the next one. So the next one we're going to take a look at is also from 2022. It is co-produced by Hybrid, starring Jodie Sweetin, David O'Donnell, and Vivica A. Fox. It is A Cozy Christmas Inn. So yeah, let's pop this one in and see A Cozy Christmas Inn. So let's roll film. Okay, so that was A Cozy Christmas Inn, and this one had a few other actors in this besides Jodie Sweetin and Vivica A. Fox, but also it had Brian Doyle Murray in this film. If you don't know who that is, first of all, he is the older brother of Bill Murray, and Brian Doyle Murray was one of the screenwriters for Caddyshack. He also was the boss in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. In this film, he plays the main male character's father, and so what this story centered around was that Jodie Sweetin plays Erica, who is a real estate executive, and she's up for a promotion that would make her a vice president. If she completes this real estate deal, that will the real estate office wants to purchase this little inn, and it's a bed and breakfast inn and in the middle of Alaska. Vivica A. Fox plays the real estate mogul that's wanting to take over this inn. But of course, Erica decides to go over to Alaska and finds out that the bed and breakfast is run by an old boyfriend by the name of Andy, played by David O'Donnell. And of course, what is going on is that Andy had fixed up the inn and completely restored it, but however, it hasn't been checked out very much. The only time it sees any value is during Christmas time, and it's just this nice little bed and breakfast inn that people can come in and check out. But of course, it starts bringing back old memories and old feelings with Erica and Andy. And Erica sees that Andy he can't give it up because his dad, Brian Doyle Murray, has 60% investment into the inn, and which is a financial situation. And legally, you can do this, like if you don't feel that it's making money, even if you are not responsible for any of it, you could sell the property say, hey, this isn't working out, sell it to a real estate developer and say, hey, I want out. And but he's very him and Andy have to have a little heart to heart, because it's also, he wants Andy to take over the family company, which is a shipping company, and of course that's not what Andy really want to do. And so everything, of course, gets resolved at the end where, Dad, I don't want to do this, and so on. And then, but also there's the romantic element between Erica and Andy, is that she sees his heart is there in Alaska, and what's more important is she wanting to take that vice president's position just to kill his dream, or do I have to give up my dream being the VP in order to rekindle a relationship? Either way, it's going to win out for both of them. So, and this one I thought was kind of this is another problem that, and I've said this before with these Hallmark movies, it seems like they also kind of want to recycle similar themes because we watched a film very similar like this last time called a Maple Valley Christmas. It was, there was some big real estate developer wants some property, and of course there's a romantic relationship involved with the person that's got to make the negotiation, and they finally decide to, well, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to help this person out, and I want to develop a relationship with the person that owns the property, so to speak. The only difference is between Maple Valley Christmas and A Cozy Christmas Inn is that the genders have been reversed. So it's a male this time that owns property, and you got a female real estate person. So yeah, that's what this is. So yeah, that's what's kind of a downer about some of these. It's recycled stories, and they just change a few little things here and there to accommodate the whole story, but that's what it is. I mean, but it did seem like a cozy end, so. And the other thing is that I can kind of relate to the whole Andy character, is that I don't cook much. Most of my meals are frozen or come from a box, so I'm just as guilty. However, I don't eat cereal like he does, but yeah. So I think that wraps it up for this video. There will be another video. We'll probably get in a few more next week because we're getting closer to Christmas, and so yeah, it's winding down. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. We've only done a couple videos, so from me to you, see you later.